Hi, welcome to Podcast on the Porch with Carrie
and Teresa.
It is June 5th, 2025 at 12:38 in the afternoon. I apologize. We're having some technical difficulties, and so just had to fix a few things.
Yes, this is take two.
Yes, this is take two. We are learning that plugging the microphone in for whatever reason kicks off my music or my book and then stops the recording. So we originally were talking about how we apologize for missing pretty much all of winter.
I know, and we're very grateful for our two listeners.
Yes.
Who have been very patient and asking us to do another podcast.
Yes. So there's so much to go over. Let's see. We have the events of the summer. We've got the committees that have started up.
Yeah.
We have elections coming with our community. We've got, we've got so much stuff.
We're going to end up having to break this up and maybe do a batch of podcasts. Break them up.
So we don't kill somebody for, 5 hours. We're doing it a little earlier in the afternoon because I have to work at the crack of dawn, literally, before the dawn rises tomorrow. So, if you didn't know, tomorrow's National Donut Day.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are there specials going on in our local spaces of donuts?
Yes, there is. Albertsons is a dozen for $7.99 for National Donut Day. So I'll be making lots and lots of donuts in the morning. And then, isn't Buzzard Day Saturday? Do I have that right?
Is it this Saturday or next? Is it this Saturday?
I think it is this Saturday.
Buzzard Days is coming up.
Yeah. And then we've got next week softball tournament start. This is July 11th is Babe Ruth State Tournament. We haven't hosted that in a long time. The state games. So that's going to be really interesting. And then they're doing a double Crazy Day sale in July. The community is. There's the one for the weekend that we've got Babe Ruth, and then the one at the end of July. And then we go into August, and I don't even want to talk about August, Teresa, because then school starts again.
I can't believe it's halfway through 2025 already. I don't even know how that happened.
I don't know either. There's just so much stuff. I mean, let's talk about some summer stuff real quick. So, I can't wait to get on the river. I know you probably can't wait to get on the river.
I've been on a couple ponds, so to speak, a few small lakes this season already.
Yeah.
But we don't want to get on the river in June. We want to wait till July to do that.
Yeah.
It's a little too high for kayaking. If you're in your boat, of course, your motorized boat, that's different. But for those of us that are kayaking, watch out with that.
Yep. The June rise is real.
Yes. And then may I put a plug in for the Our Montana, OUR Montana app that you can get on your phone, and it actually has this group that put this together, and I believe there was FWP involved, and they have all of the public access. It's an app you can put on that has the entire lower Yellowstone River on it. It will have obstacles on the river. It will have your public access points on there. And so I recommend taking a look at that, downloading it on your phone.
Oh, yeah. That's actually a really good idea. And those of you that have iPhones or Google phones or whatever, the other good thing is to make sure you always share your location, or always have your location shared with somebody at all times, especially if you're an avid kayaker or fisherman or whatever, because you never know what can happen. And the same thing for hunters, because that little ping is sometimes the biggest lifesaver, even in they found that one missing person just from Snapchat, because their ping, they had their location on, and it pinged where they were at. So there's good sides and there's bad sides to everything, but that is actually a very good side if you're an avid hiker, fisherman, kayaker,
Outdoors person.
Outdoors person 101.
Yeah.
Especially in environments like ours.
And then
We've seen snow in July, let's be real.
Yeah, we've seen crazy stuff. And also, though, because of the summer, and we made this, we tried to encourage people last year too. Remember that when it's hot out, take care of your animals.
Yes.
Make sure that they have shade. Make sure that they have fresh water and food. And if you notice that maybe your neighbor or somebody else might be a little remiss, please help them with that, so that we can just make sure our animals are taken care of. If they're riding in the back of a pickup or they're parked and the sun changes directions, let's just be mindful of our furry friends, and the sidewalks get hot if we're walking.
Yep.
So,
I mean, the sidewalks are already hot today.
Yeah.
Because concrete absorbs that heat. But that's a big thing, and a lot of people don't understand that when you put an animal in a vehicle, that the temperature drastically rises, even on the flatbeds.
Yeah.
So just because it's 70 degrees outside doesn't mean it's 70 degrees on that flatbed or inside that vehicle. So, and I hate to be Debbie Downer, but it doesn't matter that you roll the windows down. It really doesn't. Not when it's hot.
Yeah, so just find shade.
Yeah.
Our fur pets love to go with us places, and so just make sure that we're being respectful of them. And that being said, so this last one of the life-changing things that happened to me this winter is I lost my Cora, my one rescue dog, ended up having a tumor. And I had one lone dog left, and so always be aware that we do have our animal rescues out here in town. We have our Happy Tails for cats and J&P Pound Puppies.
Which right now they're looking for 6 fosters or adopters.
Oh, good. And I actually did reach out to our J&P when I realized that my pack dog lost his whole pack, and Patty had recommended, she supported also the Stray Sanctuary in North Dakota up by Williston in Ray, and so I filled out an application there and was able to adopt from their rescue. But I did reach out to J&P first to see what they needed. So
so we've got some great options for getting new furry friends. Something happened to me this summer. What was it? It's winter. I don't remember.
Well, and then we've had our local government review commissions.
Yes, we've got 2 of them. We got the city and the county. So those of you that are in Glendive, we are on our time to where we have those commissions to look at the form of government we would like. And I implore every single citizen in Dawson County to go to these commission meetings or get the information packets. Maria Walker did a very awesome information packet and broke down the types of government we can have in our county.
In our town. So there's 2.
Yep.
So there's the 2 government reviews, and basically what it was when people voted that they wanted our forms of government reevaluated. It was in 1972 that the Montana Constitutional Convention met and had created these government reviews that can be done every 10 years. And as far as I know, and I will always stand corrected if somebody wants to correct me on that, is that Montana is the only state in the nation where the citizens have the ability to review their forms of government. So this can be done at a municipal level and at a county level. And so both the county, Dawson County voters wanted to have our county government reviewed, and the city of Glendive wanted the city reviewed also, so that's why there's the two of them.
Right.
And so Maria Walker is the chair of the city local government review commission, along with Peggy Hawes and Dawn Brown. And Maria's just been taking lead. She's like taking names on this, and she would actually love to come on the podcast and speak about the city government review. Okay. And then our county government review is separate, where that is 5 people, and Rick Holden is the chair of that. And Jesse Schaff is the vice chair of that. And then Alan McCrae is on it, Linda Baker, as am I. And what people may have gotten confused about with that, though, Carrie, is that they thought that when they voted for this government review, that there was going to be a big audit of all of the books in the city and the county. And that is not what this was. It was to look at what form of governments that we have. And we have a lot of choices.
Right. And speaking of audits, you and I have spoke a lot about audits.
Yeah.
A lot. And I have voiced my frustration between the city government and the county government and the misspending of funds. I was at the meeting with the El Centro Hotel situation where Dennis Sander, Brad Mitchell, and Joe Charbonneau were there, and they were speaking about the El Centro when there was 5 of us speaking against it. And I will never forget the comment that was made in that meeting by Mr. Mitchell that said, "We've already been approved for the money anyways. We're going to buy it so we can choose who our neighbor is." And I feel that that was a huge mistake, that all of the counties should have been able to vote on how we were going to spend. Pretty much, we're almost up to $1 million of being spent on this building, between buying the building and the inspections and everything. And this is just what I was told, so obviously we're going to call it hearsay. Was that somebody else was trying to buy the building, and there was some scuttlebutt that happened, and I'm sure there was, and that's how that ended up. And the same thing with the city side of government. We have, I kind of chuckle a little bit because we've been talking about forensic audits so long with the city, and lo and behold, Betsy Heinrich puts out the thing that nobody knows who owns what within the supplies and tools of our city government. That blew me away, because that tells me that for the 11 years that you've been sitting on city council, you don't know what you're signing for the paperwork that has been spent.
And I have to think, and because I saw that as well, and then I'm not active on Facebook a lot, except for, sharing my dog stuff. But so I was reading all of that stuff that was on Facebook and things, and I because I was only there for less than 2 years, and I have to say that I didn't dive into an inventory list. I have to assume that because Black Mountain is like the municipal, it is the bookkeeping system, the bookkeeping used general. I mean, it is the system that is used in every municipality, that there is a inventory list attached to Black Mountain, and like I didn't have actual access to get into Black Mountain, but that is just a part of bookkeeping and business. And so there I just have to think there's got to be a misunderstanding there, Carrie. There just has to be, because you have depreciation, of equipment, you have allocation of equipment. When things break down, they have to be taken off of a list when they're retired out, and so there. And I don't know the answer to that, but there's got to be there. It has to be there. There must have been some misunderstanding. I just, because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you have that? You have to have that.
That's what I thought, because as a person that's worked in government, we had multiple logbooks that were checked 2 times a day, sometimes 4 times. It depends on where you're at.
All
to check,
businesses have them, even
to
little
check
bitty baby ones like mine.
Like, all the way down to the last screwdriver bit is supposed to be accounted for. So, who knows what system they may be using, or how they are accounting it, or how they loaded it.
Yeah.
But that's really scary when you think about it, because when you start adding nuts and bolts together, that's a big picture of how many nuts and bolts we have lost, I guess you could say. I mean, I think this was the worst time to even put that out there, in my opinion, because it should have been looked at long before now.
Yeah.
Especially when they're saying we're broke. Okay, we're broke. We've watched the writing on the wall. You're closing departments in one area, but you're giving huge increases to the other area. But then I look at just up yonder to Miles City, who now has a ton of issues that another entity is stepping in to help them straighten their crap out. So, I mean, did it take one to fall for the others to pick up?
Yeah.
Of what's going on and what's happening. That, I mean, I'm thankful that we at least still have some things in our community, unlike Miles City, who shut everything extracurricular down, and people got
Did they really?
Yep. It's all gone. Like, they're not opening any of their pools. They're not doing none of that. Because they laid off law enforcement. They laid off firemen. They laid off so many people. And I'm sure they're probably looking at restructuring also. And I'm a big fan of restructuring our community. Huge. I feel, as a taxpayer, since we are in the top 5 highest taxes in the state of Montana with nothing to show. And before somebody comes at me, I'm talking about infrastructure. I'm talking about new things coming to our community. Mm-hmm. Not that, we have one of the prettiest parks in our side of the state that has huge history to it. Granted, Yellowstone and Glacier are gorgeous also, but our park is a little different. It's not trees and animals. It's just, I don't know how to explain it, but you can just envision the ages of long time ago, just by looking at our park and hiking it. I actually just hiked the whole Blueberry Trail just the other day. It's a simple trail. Well, I shouldn't say simple, because if you've got knee problems, do not do that trail. And it was the first time that I actually got a snake slither across on me that I was not fully paying attention. But thank God it wasn't a rattler. It was green.
I don't know. They're all deadly. They're all 20 feet long, and they're all deadly.
I was just chatting away with my hiking partner, and I'm like, snake. We all stopped. The dog was like, what are we looking at? And I was like, come on, dog. You're supposed to, scare them off for us. Anyways, but when we look at what we're spending money on, I just don't understand, because Dawson County is a big county.
Yeah.
If you really think about the dynamics of it all, when you look at our fire departments and our sheriff department, the city of Glendive is small in comparison, but the city of Glendive spends more money yearly in their law enforcement department alone than what the county does for their sheriff department. And their sheriff department has to go out to Ritchie and all, that way. It's not raining. That's her sprinkler. So when you look at something like that, don't get me wrong. I know we're going to have to spend more if we get rid of our city government. I know we're going to have to spend more, but in the end, in the long run, we may not see it today, and we may not see it tomorrow, but we can see it 5 years from now.
So tell me what you mean by getting rid of our city government. What do you mean
I
by that?
fully feel that we waste our money with the way we've got our mayor and our city councilmen, and having dual fire departments, dual law enforcement departments, dual county dual road departments, dual public works, all the rest of that stuff. The way it's added in is we we are wasting so much money on it when the county they do more control within their departments than the city does. Because we've talked about this, about how the city hands out credit cards like they're going out of style nowadays, and that they can spend the money and talk about it later. Because I've sat there and I've listened to Frank Cian talk about how he bought a scale from overseas instead of going to North Dakota and spending that little bit of extra dollars now than he would have spent later. Because my understanding from somebody that works out there's already an issue with said scale and it's already out of date.
So are you talking about, so when you say getting rid of the city government, are you talking about like a consolidation?
Yes,
of
a consolidation of city and county, because we won't need 2 treasurers. We won't need 3 councilmen, all the councilmen and the commissioners and a mayor. There's multiple different ways we can go about it to where we have a manager and Silverbow. What I can't remember which.
Okay. So
which
there are two communities right now that do have the city county consolidated in the state of Montana. One is Butte Silverbow and the other one is Anaconda Deer Lodge. And so they are a unique form of government where they are consolidated together. They're the only 2 in the state that are like that. Now, technically, this option or form of government is one that can be reviewed by the city and the county commissions. But here's the thing, sitting on, so I know that this is a option that the city government review. So as I'm talking about both of them, make sure I don't get them mixed up when I'm talking. The city government review is proactively getting that information out there. But I have to tell you, then if there is going to be research into a city-county consolidation, that will require both of the commissions to work together.
Right.
But the one thing that I can speak as part from being at I think I've only I haven't accidentally missed. I've only had to miss a couple of our commission meetings. The one thing that the county commission, local government review commission, has said that they are not going to pursue research on the city-county consolidation and what that would look like if citizens don't come forward and either give public comment at our meetings, which are at 7 o'clock the first and third Tuesday of every month in the basement of the courthouse, the county courthouse. And so if the voters and the citizens of the town and the county don't come forward and speak in public comment or write to the chair of the commission has put his email out, or like written or presented a comment of some sort, that they're not going to pursue it if the community isn't interested. And so right now I know we have received one written public comment that has asked to look at that opportunity, and only one. And so I don't believe for one public comment that the county commission members will be interested in looking.
Yeah. I did email mine Tuesday.
Okay.
I got a response last night.
Okay.
That it'll be read at the next meeting.
Okay.
And so I implore people that to really get their emails sent or show up. I mean, I can't show up because
you work weird hours too.
Yeah. And so it's not only that, but it's the same time as city council meetings.
Yeah, it is. Now, also, because I know you emailed, I think there was a couple emails that were sent to Chair Holden, Tuesday afternoon. and our meeting is at 7 o'clock on Tuesday evening. And so if it would be possible, if anybody wants to communicate with Chair Holden, please give him enough time, because he's agriculture business, and I don't know if right before the meeting on a Tuesday, if he's not farming or doing other things and then coming into town, getting ready for the meeting. And so that afternoon of that Tuesday before the meeting he'll read them, but he probably won't be able to do it until the next one, because he probably won't get it in time.
Yeah.
So make sure that you get any comments, but also,
I did email Miss Walker also.
Good.
I sent her an email also, which was a little more in depth than the one to the county, because I also was talking about city stuff to Miss Walker.
Yeah. And Maria Walker is putting the Ranger Review has been rock stars. They have allowed us to put in informational articles about the forms of government. And so Maria with the City Commission and all of us with the County Commission have been submitting little articles that we've written about the commissions to the Ranger Review, and they're putting them in the Ranger. And so because sometimes that's difficult, people aren't getting the Ranger Review, but we also put our articles on the county website. And so Shirley she was a rock star too, because I got her the information, and I think within 30 minutes she had it all on the website. So when you go on their website and you click under community, there's that down thing, the menu, the menu, and it has local government review underneath there. And so she has tabs for all of the articles for the county commission, the forms of our current form of government that we have, and what the previous government reviews, the last one being in 1996, had recommended. And there's a chart from the MSU Local Government Center that has a comparison of all the different types you can have. And so it's a good resource that won't cost anything to just go on the county's website and look at.
Yeah, and it's actually very important that everybody nowadays uses more areas to get information out. And the reason I say this is because technology has taken a big, huge step compared to 1996, which is interesting because it's supposed to be every 10 years, and 1996 was more than 10 years ago.
No, the voters vote every 10 years on whether they want one.
Okay, so it was 1996 the last time they voted they wanted one. Okay.
Yes.
So,
in the county.
Okay, so, anyways, because, like, a lot of people don't pay for a paper anymore. They find it mundane and not worth their time, which I will kind of agree. I'm not going to pay for the city paper. It's a little pricey for twice a week for really the same information over and over again that I can read in multiple other areas. So, and one being obviously Facebook. A lot of people really get stuff out social media wise. And so that's just my thing on that intake stuff, but I mean, we've talked about how people are better at in our community. They like to talk to people to their face. Mm-hmm. So going and talking to somebody door to door, in my opinion, you will get more out of them than you will by saying, here, read this here. Yeah. Because no matter how you write it, somebody's gonna misconstrue it.
This is true. And here is the thing to know about both the City Government Review Commission and the County Government Review Commission, is that although we were voted on or appointed or sworn in, we don't get paid anything. And so what's really hard is that I feel everybody on the commissions, and a lot of times they did not know. The people on the commission did not know exactly what their role was going to be until we went to training. But we're volunteers. And so most of the people are working, and so it's really hard to go door to door. And Maria will be able to talk about this. We're going to be looking at putting out, possibly a survey and things like that too. But Maria, I think she was trying to look for places to go to present the information. And interesting enough, it was really, this is about government. It's not a political movement. And I think there's a difference there. And so people think that this is some sort of a political agenda, and it's not. This is like, I guess, providing information.
It is, and that's, a lot of people are getting it misconstrued, and a lot of people are thinking that you guys are getting paid, and they're not.
No.
I want to reiterate, the only people that get paid for anything, really, if you want to think politics-wise, the mayor gets paid, our councilmen get paid, and our commissioners get paid.
And the other elected officials, like your sheriff and your...
Correct.
Yeah.
But they're talking, just talking about, I've read lots of comments of like, oh, great, we're wasting more tax dollars on politics. No. There's no money in it. And if anybody really wanted to know, city councilmen only get paid $200 a month.
Yeah, it's $230 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the mayor, what is it at, 25,000 now? Isn't it?
Maybe gross.
Yeah. And I know the commissioners are like 60,000 each. You guys, each. And I mean, we could be saving a lot of money on things, but that's it was kind of interesting, the amount of people that thought that you guys stepped up just to get paid, and I was just like, no, time out. There's no money getting paid. Now there is a budget for you, correct?
Yeah, the budget, and then let's finish up this, and then we're almost at 30 minutes.
Okay.
And we'll finish up this thought, and then we should, stop this one and maybe do another one too.
Okay.
The budget that we are given, was for training. And so that we all had the ability to do online training through the MSU Local Government Center, so that we could, have the information to pass on to everybody and know what the law says and the types of government and all of those things. And then we have a budget. The city and the county government budgets are different, of course, but there's for like community outreach surveys. There is we can do the training and consult with the MSU Local Government Center, who are the experts in the state. And so that is it. And I know that, and so like if we want to print off material for people, that we don't have to pay for that ourselves, that comes out of that budget, that we can print off information for the public. And so that's what the budget is for. And there's budget for, because we have to also keep minutes for our meetings. And so if we choose to hire somebody so that we can make sure our minutes are kept, that will pay for that person. But otherwise we don't get, we get that good feeling in our heart, a warm feeling in our fuzzy feeling for trying to do something good. Okay. That's what it is.
Well, we're going to wrap up this podcast for today. So it is 1:12 in the afternoon on June 5th on a Thursday. Beautiful Eastern Montana day. So have a good day. This is Carrie
and Teresa
from Podcast on the Porch.